are back down in Bentonville at the Master Bike Builder Show, and lo and behold, just for Tony's sake, we got an e-bike. And it's not just any e-bike, it's an e-bike built by the Zinn company. Nick's here from Zinn, and just for the sake of it, it's not just it's a Z thing, but just for you kids out there who may not know, be familiar with Leonard Zinn, he's like the grandfather of bicycle everything in America. One of my personal heroes as a journalist, as a bike technician, everything. Bicycles are near and dear to his heart, no pun intended. But Leonard Zinn, just a fabulous name. Everyone should go and Google him and just find out about Leonard Zinn. He's just a great human being, and just, like I said, a little encyclopedia of bicycle technology, history, passion, and design. He started Zinn bikes years and years and years ago, and now Nick's the man in charge, and he's going to tell us all about the Zinn brand, and more importantly, this Zinn e-bike. Nick, take it away. Yeah,
well, I started working for Leonard just fresh out of college, and he's been a mentor of mine since then.
That's in Boulder?
In Boulder, that's right. Okay. Yeah, Boulder, Colorado. Yep. So I went to CU and met Leonard whitewater kayaking, actually, and then when I graduated, he gave me a job. So I started helping him manage the business from then.
And when was that?
2006.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been there 17 years now.
Wow. Nice.
And Leonard I've learned so much about bikes from him, and we've kind of grown the business together, because he's really passionate about bikes and designing and bike fitting, and just he just really has a knowledge of bikes that I've never seen.
Exactly.
But he hired me to kind of help him grow the business. Yeah. And so that's what we've done, and he really opened up to me and to my ideas on how to grow the business, and we've been working on it for that amount of time, and we've grown quite a bit. So
yeah. So of course he's famous for his Leonard's about 8'10", 8'9". I mean, he's tall, Leonard. So originally, like the Zinn bikes are really famous for tall people, because nobody was building bikes especially road bikes over 62, right? I mean, it's all custom. And Leonard was a guy who could not only build a bike, but understand a bike that was built for a tall rider, So I mean, it was like a specialty. But since then, Zinn's gone beyond just building bikes for tall people, and now especially with e-bikes. How did that kind of change come with in terms of Leonard? I mean, we know about how he got into it, but it's like for him personally as a bike builder, what does it mean to be doing e-bikes now?
Well, he needed to start riding an e-bike because of his heart, which a lot of people know about. And that, of course, prompted a lot of our past customers who had bought bikes years ago. As they were getting older, they decided they wanted e-bikes too. So we started making a lot of custom e-bikes. But I mean, what we want is an e-bike that feels like your regular bike. Yeah. Like feels like a really nice road bike or a gravel bike or a mountain bike, but has the motor. So it almost just makes you feel like you're more powerful. It almost doesn't feel like you're riding an e-bike. And we try to keep the aesthetics to where it still looks light and fast and nimble, and not have huge big down tubes to hide the battery. We actually like the way it looks better with the battery on the down tube, because overall the frame looks like a normal bike frame. Yeah. So the idea of having an e-bike that doesn't necessarily come across as an e-bike right off the bat. I mean, many people at the show already it took them a minute to even notice that it was an e-bike until they saw the battery. Having an e-bike that really truly performs like your normal bike. Because if you're a cyclist and you decide you're ready for an e-bike, you don't want a big clunker that weighs 60 pounds. Yeah. You want a nice, quality, fast, responsive e-bike, and that's what we make.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of all the bike production going on there, what's your percentage of bikes that are now e versus pedal?
I would say that we're probably up to about 30% e-bike and 70% regular gravel. Probably the thing we make the most are titanium gravel road bikes. Yeah. Given that a gravel bike has such versatility in tire size, most people are not super competitive racers. They want a bike with versatility. they don't want to be limited to tire size. And
right.
The advent of disc brakes on road bikes really opened up this gravel genre that has made us able to, build people road bikes that are also gravel bikes. And
right.
we often do, a lot of our customers actually buy a gravel bike with 2 wheel sets, one that's a road wheel set
right.
and one that's a gravel wheel set. And then you have a bike that kind of does everything, So and then the e-bike demand has gone up over the past few years, and so we have some production models that are not custom, so a bit more affordable as well.
Uh-huh.
So our second brand, so we have Zinn Cycles, and then Zinn Cycles started a second brand called Clydesdale, which is a non-custom, so kind of more of an off-the-shelf titanium bike for tall people, for big and tall people. So anywhere from medium but a heavy guy to 4XL and 7 feet tall.
Right.
We have a whole line of production bikes from the Clydesdale line.
Oh, interesting.
Leonard's designed all of those bikes similarly to the way he designs a custom bike, but sort of trying to get a package that's more affordable, basically.
If just generally speaking, what would be a difference in the price between, like, say, a Clydesdale version of this and then this bike? Like
about $3,000.
And so Clydesdale is about what?
A Clydesdale gravel bike that's not with no motor is about $5,000.
Okay.
Fully built.
Okay.
And that's kind of like the base model. And then custom version of that would be, $2,500 to $3,000 more with the same components.
Sure. Right.
But then the custom bikes, people are allowed to do more customization with components.
Yep.
The Clydesdale bikes kind of come with a set of components, and we customize the crank length because we are believers in proportional crank length. So if you're small, you should have a smaller crank. If you're tall, you should have a longer crank. And then there's a range in there for personal preference and riding style. So generally mountain bikers and racers, we tend to go a little shorter than normal, and recreational riders maybe a little on the longer side because they just have a more natural pedaling stroke.
Right.
Yeah.
And all the bikes come out of that frame shop in Boulder?
Yeah, all of the Zinn bikes come out of the frame shop in Colorado.
Yeah.
And then the Clydesdale frames are made overseas.
Okay.
We kind of make them in usually batches of 10 frames at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we try to, like, a lot of them are sold before they're even made, but then we try to make the most popular sizes and keep them more available so that people don't have to wait as long as they do with a custom bike as well.
Right.
So generally with the Clydesdale, depending on what people get, we're more in the like 3-week to 2-month time frame, whereas a custom bike is more like 2-3 month to potentially 6 months for a custom bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it, in terms of you being in there from, coming in the ground level and Zinn and taking up the business up to where it is now? What's your sort of overall take on the bike industry these days and where it's headed?
Well, definitely a lot more e-bikes.
Yeah.
Seem to be more popular. And I really love the gravel bike genre. I think that I love versatility. Like I'm always talking to Leonard about how we can make the designs even more versatile. So that's a lot of my input, just from understanding what people are looking for as a sales and marketing person. It's really nice to have bikes that serve a lot of purposes to a point. You don't want to go too far with that.
Yeah.
But so I'm always like, I like things that are versatile. So I like that the genres that have come out that are more versatile.
Yeah.
As far as like the big brand bike industry, I honestly don't have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, that's fine.
I get a little tunnel vision into our little world of custom bikes, and so I don't know that much about what's going on with the big box brands.
Back to the e-bike, is Bosch the motor choice for all the bikes?
Yeah, we chose Bosch from the beginning when Leonard first made his first e-bike. We chose Bosch because the quality is there. The quality is super good. The durability is really good. Yeah. There's a really large company backing the whole e-bike thing. So sure. Bosch, for people who don't know, Bosch makes a lot more than e-bikes. E-bikes are a very small part of their business, but there's a big company behind them. So, for longevity, like they guarantee replacement parts on their e-bikes for up to 7 years after they discontinue something.
Oh, wow.
Right. And then so having that confidence in like service, aftermarket service is really good. The other thing is the torque sensor is so good.
Yeah.
So it really feels natural when you start pedaling. It doesn't jump in really.
Yeah,
really, it's like really smooth transition from no assist to assist. And then it has, 5 modes of assist, including, I guess, 0. So 4 modes of assist. And this motor can be ridden like a regular bike. Like if you turn it off,
Sure.
there's no drag in the motor. And so we really like that because we've actually had many customers buy these e-bikes and with the intent of riding it without the motor on as much as they can.
Yeah.
And then they kick it in when they need it. And and I honestly figured once you feel the motor, you're probably going to use it most of the time. But it's surprising how many people come back and report how much they tell me they're using. They actually ride with it off a lot, which is really cool. Because that again adds to the versatility. Like if somebody's on the fence between an e-bike and not an e-bike, the Bosch motor is a really good option. Yeah.
So then for the sake of that, then how can people find out more about Zinn bikes?
Well, we have zinncycles.com is our main website. Okay. And from there you can go to the Clydesdale brand, but it also has its own URL, which is bikeclydesdale.com.
Okay.
We're on Instagram and Facebook. So we have Zinn Cycles is our handle on all the social media accounts.
Okay.
Bike Clydesdale is the Clydesdale handle on the other social media accounts. So we tend to, it's good to follow us there because you kind of get to see a little bit inside with, when we build up a new bike that's kind of unique, you'll see pictures of it.
Oh, okay. Right.
You just kind of see kind of the new things
under
that we're
the covers
doing.
A little bit.
Yeah, the new, the graphics that we do, the artwork that we do on the frames to try to customize things, and when we do we do a decent number of bikes with different sort of body riding positions. Like some people do really upright positions because they have neck problems, or other people are more like aggressive, and so we get a variety on the social media. You can see, because not everything makes it to the website, so it's good to see the social media. And see, and you can subscribe to our newsletter. We send out a monthly newsletter with all the updates and technical updates from Leonard. Blog articles that Leonard writes as well would come out on our newsletter and are live on the site as well.
Yeah, that's a great source of tech information because again, Leonard's such a tech guy. But when you see Leonard, make sure you give him a big kiss on the cheek for me. And,
I will.
And thank you for coming down to Bentonville to be part of the bike show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.